Hey everyone, Strange123 here today with another replay cast. We're looking at KMS Bogue, playing the tier 6, not so Bogue anymore. The Independence, he's finally gotten himself out of the Bogue, I guess, finally. So yeah, well, looks like we actually get some pretty nice matchmaking actually. It's top tier, which is kind of nice. Second of all, there's a grand total of 0 cleaver lulls on the enemy team. You still wouldn't really want to fly into a AA spec, well, a whole AA spec. No, that can still be rather painful for you, especially if you try to attack it. It's gonna tear your planes apart quite fast. But yeah, we do have AS, which is kind of nice. We're also moving our ship kind of forwards right now, again, which is nice. Interesting thing is it looks like we're launching torpedo, then dive, then fighter. I'd suggest you cancel the dive bomber launch in this case and kind of wait for the fighters. I mean, you're basically getting the fighters 5-6 seconds earlier now than you're getting your dive bomber, but like there's still this bit of a weird gap, and we're actually making a big mistake right now. Tier 6 aircraft, they're not that fast, so you can easily, safely, let me just caster control, you can safely get your ship up to here, then turn it around, and it's only 3 squadrons of planes to launch, so it's overall not that bad. So now we're losing a little bit of time on the fighters, but at least it's a mixed nation fight, so we do know that we should pretty much check the nation of this plane, figure out what it is, because if it's a Dewey-Ho, no it isn't, but it's a Independence without AS, so you know, we can always still just give him a good old head-on strafing, but you know, the point is if we meet the Dewey-Ho, you know, what we can do is just like, oh, hey, you can't strafe me because you are tier 5 carrier versus tier 6 carrier, and I can slave and you cannot slave, so you can go and poke yourselves, yeah? So, pretty much. But yeah, we got a cleaver lull over here. Hopefully we're gonna keep on having a cleaver lull here for a good chunk more. Seems to be under fire right now, which is not so nice in a Cleveland. I mean, 16 millimeters of armor absolutely bloody everywhere. Looks like Mutsky wants to mess with our planes with anti-air, spotting the planes, using the planes to spot torpedoes even. Widespread memes inbound. Looks like we're not going to go for the Mutsky, probably worried about the enemy fighter as Leander takes out the Nürnberg. That's the 3-host fighter now coming in. This guy actually has AS. Surprising. I wouldn't click fight that at all, in fact, because the Dewey-Ho literally cannot do anything. Now, we've actually lost a fighter from our squad. We're putting it towards a buy-in. That's generally a good idea, but, like... Oh, that's never going to catch me. But we're now outnumbered. We can see the the Indy has got her fighters nearby as well. And we can see that Dewey-Ho is going in for what seems to be a reasonably smart strike. Check that out. Dive bombers first, hope for a fire, and then come back for a a good torpedo bomber drop. But it seems like the Königsberg even is about to get herself killed by fire, either from the carrier, in which case this actually does go through, or to the friendly fleet. Now you kind of have to be a bit careful about these 3-Ho fighters, because I think they have similar amounts of DPS per plane to you. They're just, you know, a bit more squishy, and, you know, stuff like that. And he's flying towards New York and Kiev, but looks like we're going to give a good old strafing up the tail of that, but it seems like he's going to evade. Yeah, he actually evaded that, so hopefully we don't lose a plane in this, otherwise, I mean, it's just overall not good practice, but hey, we actually found the enemy 3-Ho, so if you wanted to be a dick, you could go kill that right now if you wanted to. In other ways, you can always go kill the New York, who did actually kill one of your planes. That's the thing about moves like that, like, generally with low replacement aircraft carriers, it's just not a good idea. Because as you can see, we've lost 2 planes, and we only have 3 more replacements, right? Looks like the Allied 3-Ho is taking a really, really bad fight. However, what this means is that, yeah, pretty much, you can see this coming. We can go in and strafe his plane. The problem is, we're not going to get there any time early. Independence has had his strike. We've kind of been dawdling about a little bit. We need to really hope this strafing does a good job of killing his ship. And it actually does. We actually pick up the 3rd plane as well, which is kind of surprising. For a 3-Ho, not much he can do about that, just, you know, because he can't strafe, and I guess he didn't really recognize the dodge. So, I wouldn't say it pays off. I mean, we lose 4, they lose 5, Independence is probably still intact. But now we know that some... Oh, looks like our Arbor just team killed our Kamikaze R. Nicely done. Looks like we're going for the Gilio Tatsara. Indy is nowhere near enough of a position to stop this. But 3-Ho is still going to be messing around with our stuff. Looks like we're landing oh, that's dropped way too far away. US bombers you want to drop on top of the person. IJN bombers you kind of want to drop farther away. But it's going to result in something at least. 2 hits, and you can see 2 hits, no flooding, which is kind of unfortunate. Normally I'd suggest you drop from a lot, or as close as you basically can. Fushun, I'm not really sure what that guy thinks he's going to achieve, even if he is aiming for Gilio Tsatsara. And you want to be having the plane here, like here, and then order it to drop, because that's going to circle. And now you can see that the drop pattern isn't the world's best. It needs to circle a little bit, so we only get 1 hit, 1 fire. But 3-Ho basically being out of replacements is, well, he's going for our stock 3-Ho. I mean, you only get 1 fighter, but still. And you can see this 3-Ho is not a complete idiot. He's actually ordering his planes to tag the other squadron there. Torpedoes from the Fushun are going in, but, you know, they were definitely spotted by the Gnevny at this point, who has decided he doesn't want to live anymore. Which I guess kind of is nice. Right now, you can see that the team is making reasonable progress. Overall, that's not too bad at all. But, Cleveland, hopefully he'll be able to kill a couple of the planes. If anything, you're really hoping that the Cleveland can actually kill the enemy fighters, not the dive bombers. So it's like, who cares too much about the dive bombers? The fighters you want to get rid of, because the fighters are the stuff that's going to panic your planes. Now, I'm actually not sure if the enemy 3-Ho was being smart about it, or if he just used the auto-escort function. If he just used the auto-export function, hey, at least he knows how to use that, right? Like, click on a friendly. You know, difficult, but still. Unfortunately, the Cleveland actually gets clicked to death by the carrier, which is a kind of ironic thing. But the enemy Independence isn't really doing much to stop, so, you know, stop any kind of meddling around here, and the enemy Independence actually bled a few of his fighters. But yeah, as you can see, looks like the Leander, let me take control of that camera. Looks like the Leander is actually focusing the fighter. That's an interesting thing. Now, in this kind of position, he kind of has to focus the fighter. And I would put a strafing here, strafe here, strafe, there we go. It's a little bit, way too late, way too late. You wanted to put it earlier. Because then you'll have a much higher chance of catching it on the retreat path. But we actually do retreat path it, and it looks like it wasn't even a retreat path. He tried to evade the strafing, but failed miserably and got stuffed. Now, what to do next? Let's see, that's the 3-Ho. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course it's tier 5. But I would ooh, looks like we're going to retreat past the 3-Ho's dive bomber. I don't think we're going to catch it, and oh, we circled to evade. Now this is problematic, because the Leander at this point is going to be focusing the dive bomber. And he's going to be focusing the torpedo bombers. Which means we're not getting any anti-aircraft support from this Leander. If our aircraft stick this engagement, then they have the problem that they're likely going to be incredibly damaged, that they are going to be ineffective. But never mind, it seems like the Independence isn't really upgraded, so what we could do is strafe the retreat paths at least, and kill 3-0 stuff on the way home. But anyways, the strike's gonna kill off the Leander, so we're not getting anything useful there. Also, we should, there you go, finally pick up the enemy plane. Some pretty survivable planes, fail stacking on the enemy team there. The enemy 3-Ho, I would just put a strafing. Never mind, he wants to tag us, to just let him tag if he wants to tag, because he can't strafe us. He can't do shit. So just simply sit a tag on him, and he's going nowhere. And this should be an easy kill. In fact, if you want, you can just go like brrrt on the dive bomber right now. Personally, I would have done that. We lose one plane, which, again, you can see, we can just replace a one plane loss here. That's the end of the Kirov. And there you go, we've killed off the Independence's fighters right now. I'll be slightly microing the plane off to the side. And there you go, I would honestly strafe this plane on the way in at least. We have the ammo, because number 2 squadron easily has the ammo. This is a big mistake here. We're not killing this torpedo bomber on the way in, because that would 100% deplane the Independence. Oh, I really think this is a massive mistake over there, in the sense of being an aircraft carrier player. But hey, I mean, if you let him live, oops, that's me banging on the table. If you let him live, at least, if you kill something, you at least get to, hopefully kill someone and the game lasts a bit longer, I guess you can think. But in this kind of situation, with this kind of matchup, no destroyers, and overall, I just don't think it's going to happen. It's, to be honest, you're probably better off just killing off the plane and going for the additional XP. Because, as far as I know, experience distribution, as we're sailing straight towards an enemy in New York right now with our ship, probably not paying attention to that, but it's still based on the total carrier replacements. Plus, of course, individual normalizations and things like that accounted for. But yeah, the enemy team doesn't actually have a cap, so unless they kill another couple of our ships, we're actually in a position where the enemy team can kind of start coming back into this game. Because we haven't really been fully wiping the enemy aircraft carriers. We could have wiped the Independence and basically rendered him combat ineffective. But we didn't, so we cycle our fighter. I mean, I would use a disengage trade, pick up some more stuff. We could use a remainder of our fighters and we'd do just fine. Right now, landing the dive bomber, the takeoff order should just be everything in order. But I would also actually hasten to add that we should wait for the allied carrier to go in first. Because, and this guy's probably about to get 3-hoed, this guy's reasonably healthy, and his AA is not too bad. So, well, first of all, if you wait and go after, like now, this guy's going to suck all the anti-aircraft attention, poor, you know, Ho-Show planes, so we can get in there, and he's going to lock down the target, and again, we can get it. That's not going to do anything. Yeah, pause. Considering the fact that the target was already locked, you want to be going behind him a little bit because he's kind of already locked his rudder into turn, so slightly from behind. Like, imagine, you know, the 90 degree from normal. So if you take like 5 to 10 degrees from the normal behind him because his rudder's locked and drop on arm time, he's going to take 4, 5 depending on the size of the ship, really. But now you can see he's clearly slowed down, so we only get to hit 3 of the torpedoes. And 4 would have instantly killed them, which would have been kind of useful because no one needs to dedicate any more resources to making this guy explode. But overall, firepower-wise, this game... Let me check this buy-in. Nah, this game should be fine. And now you can see this blob of fighters strafe here, strafe there. There we go. Because if you head on strafe it, we can get some good damage off it. And there you go, we get some good damage off it. Just remember to click the fighter afterwards. Oh no, it's actually back on escort. So here's the important thing, we should be AAing that. There you go, now the tag occurs, but who cares if it dive bombs us? Because our fighter engagement there should easily go in our favor. And then we can kill his torpedo bomber. And this is the thing, if we'd wiped that torpedo bomber earlier, this would not be a problem. Because now you can see the Bayern's anti-aircraft is focused on the dive bomber, because that's in range. But we pick up the plane early enough, so we can just go in and set a tag on that. Dive bomber's going for the 3-ho. I would just go strafing on that, because panicking it, I mean, there we go, good looking strafe. Looks like he's actually going to try to evade it. Oh, no, looks like he's changed his mind, he wants to go for the Bayern. So, a bit unfortunate, but hey. Our dive bomber is faffing about with a 3-ho. I mean, it's not really going to achieve much. Normally, it's suggested and recommended that you dive bomb first, then go for the torpedo bomber, and we decided we want to park our ship here. That's perfectly fine. Going in, he's already taken a fire, and let's see, looks like he's damage control partied, so we just need to go in there. Actually, he's so low HP, we can just go in there and flop him to death anyways. Kill off this plane, and then look for that. That's a 3-ho's plane. We just need to get rid of it. Torpedo Bomber Alpha is going to be more than sufficient to eliminate this 3-ho at this point, as long as we don't make it a really, really bad looking drop. Gilio Tatsara is going for Bravo. Again, kind of useful for us in that sense. We just need to keep in mind which enemy plane is actually loaded. That's a very good looking drop, so that's the end of the enemy 3-ho's Reign of Terror. And it's easily going to be off his damage control party as well, but the alpha damage should easily knock the guy out. There we go. Target, enemy, devastating strike achieved. And now we can just send our fighters to look for the Independence and kill his last remaining strike planes. In the meantime, we just need to launch replace our aircraft to get up there for the Galicianaire and the Gilio Tatsara. I wouldn't bother with this because it's an empty bomber, I think, so we're just wasting our ammo. Ammunition that should be used for this because we can always come back in a couple of minutes because our carrier is out of fighters. We can always come back in a couple of minutes and then deal with this. There we go, we react perfectly. But I think with this, we're going to be a little bit low in ammunition here, so we're not really going to achieve too much. And yeah, Actually, no. No, never mind. We did wipe the Independence's planes on retreat path, so... so he's actually out. This is the last active plane in the game. Hopefully we can get the last one. There we go, we get it. So now we can go and deal with this last plane there. This guy is out of planes, so we should be focusing our attack on dealing with the Galicianeer and the Giulio Cesare. Because at the end of the day, we can always go blow up the Independence later at our leisure. But we're capping A now, so this game's pretty much in our favor. Unless, of course, the enemy magically find our 3-0 and kill that. We're only really going to be able to kill one enemy ship because we're going to get this cap and no one's really going to be able to reset that. And it actually turns out it's Giulio Cesare that capped Charlie. But hey, and there you go, dive bomber there got wiped. Someone's mad. Who cares? But yeah, this is kind of pointless. I mean, it's not really pointless. It'll give us some points. Well, I mean, only if we kill him. But you can see, even with 2 hits, it didn't really do much. And realistically speaking, you just basically need to hit him with a torpedo, and the guy is going to die. Because he's being shot at by the Alba as well. And, you know, Alba's guns are good enough to knock out a baguette. I wouldn't be caring about anything over there right now. Micro this torpedo bomber drop. There's nothing else to do here. If you mess this up, I would kind of laugh at you really, really hard. But it looks like we've got the kill on this baguette. He can turn all he wants, but he's still going to take 2. And there you go. Looks like the Alba even survived. In a way, I guess it's a bit unfortunate because it means that we're going to have enough points. Looks like the Bayern wants to chase the Independence. If the guy is nice, he would have run this direction so we can go, maybe drop the Giulio Cesare. Or even drop the Indy. I'd probably go for the Giulio Cesare because he's probably healed back a little bit right now. And the Independence, I don't know how much health he had. I didn't go check. But yeah, overall we could have saved ourselves a lot of effort earlier by just wiping the Independence's plane on the way in instead of retreating the fighter. And, ooh, Giulio knocks out the Alba. So that's actually kind of nice for us, in a way, because it means we have more time to go drop the Giulio. I mean, the probability of us losing this game is rather low. We're still more than good enough on replacements here to easily take out this Giulio, even though our Tuiho doesn't seem to be having too great of a day in that sense. I mean, Tuiho on our team hasn't really been having the great performance overall. Now, I'd kind of just sail the ship up north here, just to save a little bit of time, because sailing away from the Giulio isn't doing anything, and the guy's like, how far away? Like 20k away from us? 18? 22 even more than that. So he's more than far enough. We can just sail aggressively in this direction, launch our planes, with only 3 plane squadrons, in fact only 2 plane squadrons, because this guy's out of planes. We don't need this, we only need to manage these. We should easily have the, to be able to think about, just using our ship. And there you go, we're now turning in, but it's a bit too late. Our torpedo bomber has been launched to the left side of the ship already. I think this guy needs to learn some English first. Who is it anyways? Oh, it's just a Fushun that didn't know what the, let's not be on the enemy side of the map like an idiot button, also known as the W button does. Let me have a look at the Independence. Actually quite healthy. And there is sufficient points that we can basically deal with both of these guys, so I'd be doing this as well. Dive bomber, click this guy, torpedo bomber, click that guy. Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Yeah, that's a waste of time to fly. Just fly behind and drop from behind, it works as well. That's way too far ahead now, but it's actually a reason... No, slightly to the side. I mean, I don't... Yeah, there you go, that's not going to do much. There you go, it completely misses, which is a bit unfortunate. I would be using this and sending it to Indy, because for all intents and purposes, this is going to be our last attack. So I guess we can get ourselves 14,000 damage off killing this Giulio Cesare. But, as long as this guy is focusing on shooting this guy, at least let this guy get a little bit of additional damage off. Not the world's best looking drop, but I think we just need to hit 3, and it looks like we should easily be able to pick up 3 with the US torpedo bomber pattern. These 3 should be able to impact him, and bam, target eliminated. And now, I guess, this guy's going to be able to blow up the Independence. I mean, we're never getting our Kraken anyways. Unless, of course, the Bayern was absolutely horrible at the game, but hey, you never really know. I mean, he's kind of taking the right angle against the Independence to shoot it from the front, because you shoot it either side, you're just going to overpen it. Kind of. I mean, it's still a Cleveland chassis, but hey, But yeah, that's it for our game. This guy's never going to last long enough for us even to get our planes there, and that's of course not considering there's only 1 minute left of the game. 37 planes picked up, no clear sky. 3 hoes are 30, Independences fully upgraded are 37, and as you can see, it is a fully upgraded hull. Guy's given up already, so sucks to be him. Nobody even knows what this guy is talking about. Remember the reports from me. Wow. I guess that's this guy saying, remember, where is it? Remember that I'm a retard. I think that's what he's trying to say right there. But hey, can this Bayern actually pick up the kill though? I mean, it's additional XP for him to grind through that ship. I never really liked it too much. The guns were kind of on the troll end. We're never getting this cap, 12 seconds left, 50 seconds to the cap. So yeah, things to keep in mind with the aircraft carriers are basically try to keep your ship relevant in the game when you don't have much to deal with. And try to punish people on their retreat paths as much as possible, because, you know, being able to wipe stuff, especially this tier 6 plane, you know, carrier replacements are really, really bad. Like, Independence, Stock Hull 30, Top Hull 37, Ryujo 48. You know, these are light carriers. They don't have a lot of planes. Granted, the Saipan is, you know, has 48, it's light carrier tier 7, but, you know, it's got the exact same replacement distribution as the Hiryu. 24 fighters, 24 torpedo bombers. Well, not replacement distribution. The replacement distribution is actually different. With AS, it's 16 fighter replacement for the Saipan and 14 replacements for the Hiryu. With torpedo bombers, because, you know, 8 total aircraft on airborne compared to 10 total aircraft airborne with the Hiryu. With torpedo bombers, it's 4 and 3 respectively. No AS will change that, so it's 8 airborne out of the 24. Again, you know, 16 torpedo bomber replacements, and because it's only 6 airborne, 18 torpedo bomber replacements for the Saipan. But, you know, just things to keep in mind here. You know, without AS, Saipan can basically get fighters, you know, entire wings wiped a bit more. But this isn't so much a talk about the Saipan, this is a talk about the Independence. Over 100k damage definitely ain't bad overall. We didn't really go for any damage over time attacks whatsoever. And, I mean, with the unreliability of buying guns overall, we could probably have been able to pick up the Independence for a bit more damage compared to killing the Gilead Tsutsada. Plus, killing the carrier in front of the Bayern is basically a nice way of saying, screw you, Bayern, you should always deal with the surface ship before dealing with the D-plane carrier. I mean, the Bayern had enough health. If he had lower health, I guess you could have said you'd hope that the Bayern gets killed so we can blow them both up, and for a Kraken, right? I mean, obviously you don't want to do this in a random where it actually matters, and I guess you could say the victory step is on the line, but in this case it really wasn't. And even with, you know, letting a lot of enemy strikes through, you know, I don't think we really prevented much more than 1.5 strikes, and that was kind of on ourselves. You know, we delayed the first 3-ho attack, but then the Independence attack got a free attack in, then the 3-ho basically got a free attack in, and so, you know, overall, I mean, we were basically the only carrier on our team, so performance there wasn't really too bad. Let's see if I can actually get this to work. 2054 basic experience with an Independence. Remember that shooting down a lot of planes there, even though we didn't do like super insane high MLG multi-thousand damage game, 100,000 damage in the tier 6 game is definitely very respectable. We didn't, you know, really do much about the destroyers, but, you know, we still did a reasonable chunk, like you can see here. Sure, a lot of it's on the Gilead Tsutsada, in fact, almost half of it is. A good bunch of it on the 3-ho, but still, that's a kill. That shows a low HP kill and reasonably low HP kill here, but they're still kills. I mean, granted, we never even tried to attack the destroyers, so, hey, you know, we could have probably picked up more experience in this game if we, you know, for example, went in and blew up the destroyers, but then we probably wouldn't have been able to extend the game this long, so who really knows. But yeah, the thing about the Independence, especially if you're fighting against an enemy aircraft carrier that cannot strafe, or in the Independence's case, one that didn't want to strafe, or didn't know how to properly do strafing, although for some reason the guy was maybe actually don't know if he was actively evading our strafes, but I'm pretty sure the 3-ho was actively trying to evade us. That guy was a good player. For what you'd expect. Like, this 3-ho's performance was not bad at all. You know, compared to what you'd expect, again. So, you know, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I have spoken quite a bit to you about aircraft carrier shadow specifically. You know, you've asked me a lot of questions, both, I think a few on stream, but a lot of questions off stream actually. So for those that do want to ask me questions, do want to talk to me specifically, or want me to demonstrate something, for example, a couple of days ago I demonstrated, you know, a pretty in-depth explanation of strafing mechanics specifically for Steel Shadow, join me on Discord. There will be a link in the description. Join this. Feel free to ask me a question, pick my brain for things you might be looking for. Send me replays, talk about replays, games, and ask for help on improving your game. This is really what I'm here for. I want to be able to help people improve their gameplay in World of Warships to whatever level that they feel, or just get any tips that they can find. So yeah, with that, if you want to send me a replay for an analysis like this, send them to me at replays.strangers123@gmail.com. There will be an email address in the description box below, along with a Discord. Give me a good title, description of the match, anything specifically you would like me to look at, and I'll hopefully get some time to feature your replay. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care, and I shall catch you guys in the next one.